If you can hear, say persevere. Oh my gosh, y'all. I am so thankful for this opportunity right now. There are a lot of people who aren't here today, but I believe that their story matters. And do y'all believe that stories matter?
I just love hearing Reggie speak. It's just so inspiring it makes you want to share your story and to see him up there and how proud he is of all the hard work that he's done, and it inspires me to want to do the same.
When I look around in this crowd, I don't know your stories. I would love to get to know them, but I know that there's been adversity. I know that there's been struggle. I know there's been a lot of pain, and some of you may be experiencing that pain right here, right now, and yet you're still pouring into yourself so that you can help other people. I look around at so many roses out here. Everybody say, I am the rose. Y'all. Say it like you busting through concrete. I am the rose. Yes, you are. You are the rose. And none of that pain defines you. None of that past defines you. That trauma does not define you. You're defined by how hard you break through that concrete. You're defined how you get back up after all those setbacks, after all those challenges. None of that defines you. You are the rose. I am the rose.
Vulnerability is a superpower, and I have experienced that in my own life as well. So that totally resonated with me to go first and set the tone for other people, and then you never know what may happen as a result.
One thing I often say is that my trauma responses were often applauded by society. That the perfectionism, the people-pleasing, the self-sacrifice to a point where I don't even recognize myself was applauded by society. The masks are celebrated. I couldn't fake it anymore. I had to be authentic to who I was. And so I began to write. I wrote a book called Perseverance Through Severe Dysfunction, PTSD, where for the first time in my life, I opened up myself and my story and my heart to the world.
I'm passionate about speaking because I have suffered in silence. I know what it's like to have mental health issues that impact the day-to-day, but when I say suffer in silence, I was thriving. I was celebrated. And there are so many people, so many high achievers who are in that same boat, being driven, but don't know what's driving. And I, through the power of vulnerability, through embracing mental wellness, can uncover that in those individuals so that we do get the performance without sacrificing the well-being.
You are worthy of all the greatest things that life has to offer, and I love you simply for being you. You don't have to perform to win my love. You don't have to achieve to win my love. You don't have to do anything but be to win my love. And that vulnerability has opened up so much, right? Vulnerability became a superpower for me. Vulnerability became the greatest superpower. It became a strength in my world. It helped me to connect with people on a whole different level. It helped me to grow. It helped me to heal.
You can overcome adversity and do amazing, awesome things. And I'm super glad to see faces that look like mine with energy that feels like mine. And I am glad to have him as part of the group of men who are out doing amazing things.
I developed a framework called Vulnerability Muscle, redefining vulnerability as a strength to connect, to heal, to grow, because I saw the impact of that in my life and in so many other people's. You have to model the behavior that you want to see from others. They mirror what you model. And so modeling the behavior is the first pillar, and I work with people.
Organizations bring me in because I see people, and when I see people, I help them transform the way that they look at their entire leadership style. I look at how they are addressing people from a psychological safety standpoint, right? Burnout, recruitment, retention, all of these things that are so important to organizations that help save money, that help boost profits, are all a factor of psychological safety. And so if we can keep people safe, so we can get people to show up vulnerably in their leadership, that is how we're gonna get all of those boxes checked. That's how we're gonna make people feel welcomed and warm and matter, like they matter when they show up to work each and every day.
Psychological safety is something that is critical, and it's missing from so many of our environments. And that's one that I want to enhance. And if we signal psychological safety, show people that we are safe to be vulnerable around, that we're not going to use those things against you, then we get more out of them. See us choose curiosity over criticism, over judgment. I always say in this, how can you ask one more question? And oftentimes that question may be, what else could be true? Have we truly grown in our vulnerability? Have we truly become a safe person, a safe environment, a safe culture and organization? Or are things just staying the same?
There is a lot of noise out there. And I also think that sometimes I get scared to share my story in my work because you want to hide and you maybe don't want to be vulnerable and you don't want people to see who you are and what you've been through.
Self-care is sacred, not selfish. When you're understanding yourself, when you're modeling that behavior, you may have vulnerability hangovers. That's real. You may have these moments where you need to pull back and take care of yourself. Everybody says self-care is sacred, not selfish. I want you to practice that. I think that it's something that we all desperately need in order to thrive and be our best.
I want people to know that their mental health challenges, whatever they may be facing, that they are not alone in that. I want people to know that their experiences, their past, their backgrounds, all the things that they bring to the table are valuable, and that when they embrace those things, when they love themselves, when they are able to be vulnerable, that's where true power, true strength comes from.
The number one factor that they found was psychological safety, defined as the ability to be vulnerable without the fear of repercussion. The ability to show up as we are without the fear of being prosecuted. That's the number one factor in successful teams. We stereotype and we make all these assumptions about people, but we don't know until we ask, until we truly understand their stories. People want to feel seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be valued. That's the common thread.
The message was great. Actually, I thought the logistics of his message was on point. So anytime you can get a speaker who will weave the story and the story arc for you in a very professional and loving manner so that you don't get lost in all the gobbledygook, I always think that's a great thing. So Reggie is a phenomenal presenter.
I see you. All of you. I see you. And I recognize the struggles that you go through. And I hope that today that you feel seen, that you feel heard, that you feel valued and understood, that you connect with people that help you feel like you're not alone in whatever you're going through. You have a community here.
I want people to know that you can have success and well-being, that you don't have to pick or choose or sacrifice your overall well-being for performance, for success, for the endurance that you want in the business. So to be able to prioritize the overall holistic human when we go out to do the things that we do in business is the ultimate goal for me and my organization.
Today is the day that you change your ways, that you commit to the process even on the days that it doesn't pay. You've been saying tomorrow is the day for far too many days. How many moons must go by before you begin to see that your actions of the day will result in the person you want to be? Today is the day to change your ways, to commit to the process, even on the days it doesn't pay, even on the days full of rain, even on the days you feel pain, even on the days you feel sick. You don't deviate from the standard, because that's the whole meaning behind the words, I commit. It's time to lock in, because you deserve your best. Others can't cheat you of success because only you were given that test. Ace it for all the broken hearts and aces. Ace it for all the deep scars and smiling faces. Ace it, my friend, because you were destined for greatness. You've got everything you need to accomplish the goal. The only thing holding you back is the person you're afraid to get to know. You fear uncertainty, but know that in every situation, when you gave it your all, you exceeded your wildest expectations. So step aside, old self. Stop getting in the way. Yesterday you said tomorrow, so today is the day.
Hey, Jeremy Anderson here. Look, I just heard Reggie Ford speak. This brother is powerful. And his message and the level of vulnerability that he brings when he's on stage is second to none. I highly recommend that he come to your organization and speak for your event, because this man is powerful.
I used to work in the speaking industry and saw Reggie talk, and I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life just because of the way he delivered it. And I found so many parallels, even though our lives were really different. and it changed my life.
Hi, I'm Steve Turney. I'm the CEO of Turn Productions. We do event planning and production and promotion. And a lot of what we really do is build community through these conferences and events that we run. So when I booked Reggie D. Ford, I had met him, I knew him as a person, and I knew he always lived with authenticity, and you can just tell, you can just feel the vibe when you're talking with Reggie. What I was so impressed with when he gave his keynote at our mental health marketing conference was that he took that to the stage. It was baked into the message, which had a lot to do with unmasking, and it had a lot to do with being vulnerable, and Reggie led by example. I would 100% recommend Reggie D. Ford for your conferences or events. I would love to bring him back for my own events, and I would do that because what we're looking for on stage is not just another presentation. We want connection from the stage that really moves the audience, and Reggie did that in spades for us. The audience was totally dialed in to his message and connected with him as a speaker, and we feel like that's what our events need in order to be successful, and he delivered that for us.